is Julia Waldorf, juliawaldorf.com, and hey, Jim Hogaboom. You spoke at our MLS meeting this morning for the Association of Pismo Association, and you are with the Lucia Unified School District, and you had so much information. It was great listening to you. You really did. I loved it. Well, could you tell us what does the future bring? What do you think the future brings with the future of education? Because you mentioned the new school in Napoma that's working quite well.
Well, I think the bottom line is that the education is changing because the world is changing so dramatically. And back when I was in school, maybe when you were in school, things were different. And we can't even predict what the jobs of the future are going to be, which poses some pretty big challenges for education. So how are we supposed to educate kids? We don't know what those jobs are going to be. So that's really where this whole focus on 21st century learning and 21st century skills, which means instead of just reading, writing, and math, we also want to make sure kids can work as a team, that they have problem-solving skills, critical thinking skills, innovation, and really that's our big challenge, I think, at the time is how do we get these kids ready for the future?
Well, and you were saying that the kids work as groups and as teams, and that they do a lot of public speaking with each other, and they have a real project, a real-world project that they work on, and then they give a good presentation to everybody. Is that right?
Yeah, well, and changing education is tough. So we have these pockets of innovation, and one of those is Central Coast New Tech High, which is back on the backside of the Napoma High campus. We opened that last year with 100 freshmen, and we'll keep adding to it until it gets about 400 or 500. So they use technology. Technology isn't the main thing, but they all have laptops. They use that. They're posed with real life problems that they have to solve. They have to all work in teams. It's integrated, 50 kids in a classroom together, and then they give a lot of presentations. They do internships, college, community college classes, and that really, to me, is putting them in the driver's seat to engage, challenge, and inspire them by saying, here's a problem, work with your teammates and go solve it.
Yeah, and it's all they all work together with the teacher instead of the teacher just telling them what's going on.
Right, totally changes the teacher's role. The teacher really is a facilitator of learning, working with them to say, okay, what help do you need? What information do you need? Here's how do you present that information? I mean, they're still guiding them, but they're not giving them the information. That we have the internet now, so teachers' roles need to change.
Yeah, so they kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, this is just too cool. And I met one of the kids that went to that school, and boy, he was sharp. He was sharp. And the main thing is you're saying that they have to think out of the box.
Right. They have to be innovative and critical, and how do you solve the problem? So they're not just told, they have to figure it out. Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah, which is all good. So another thing you mentioned is that another note, I suppose, is that you say in the district, average of the kids 50% of the kids are in poverty?
Yeah, our schools face tons of challenges. I mean, one of them is funding. You know, everyone knows we're probably the last or second to last in the state. Unfair funding formulas, but also we have 50% of our kids are in poverty. Probably about 20% of our kids are English language learners. So those, a lot of special needs kids. So there's a lot of challenges that schools face these days to try to get everybody ready. And I think people think, wow, we're in such a beautiful area here on the Central Coast and everything, but we have a lot of those same challenges of poverty and kids trying to learn English and all that other districts do.
Yeah, it's just not the English though. It's basically the kids. 50% is high.
And poverty is probably the single biggest factor. I think if you look at students who succeed and students who don't, poverty is the single biggest factor that we have to try to overcome. Okay,
well, you're one of the guys out there trying to help those kids out. You're doing a good job.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Anyway, Jim, what's your contact information?
Okay, so if you Lucia Unified School District, we're at lmusd.org, and if you want to get a hold of me, I'm Jay Hogaboom at lmusd.org. So contact me anytime.
All right, well, thank you very much. This is Julia Waldorf, juliawaldorf.com. Have a great weekend. Ciao, ciao.